So good afternoon. My name is H. Harrison. I am a Northeastern alum, and I really appreciate the opportunity to be able to do the Husky Wellness Week for Northeastern. So before we get started, I again recommend, if you don't have one, to maybe just go grab some sort of padding for your knees. If you want, this is going to be just something to have on the side in case you want some extra cushion while we're doing some work on our hands and knees. With that being said, I know we only have about 30 minutes together this afternoon, so I figured we may as well get started. Thank you so much for joining. Again, my name is H. Harrison, and so we're going to be doing some Vinyasa. So Vinyasa are the movement-based poses, right? We're going to be trying to get some movement. One of the things that I really love to do in my yoga classes is try and find an ability to broaden across the chest, right? Work into the shoulders. I think that we're doing a lot collectively, sitting at computers, hunched forward, shoulders in, neck, extended. So today I really want us to try and, bring some space to the neck, shoulders, and chest, upper body work. So that's going to be where we're going to be focusing to start. So I'm going to ask that you start by finding a comfortable seat at the front of your mat. If you'd like to have your legs crossed, we can just start taking here a couple of breaths. So bring the hands to the knees, close your eyes, or maybe find a soft gaze towards the floor to start. And this is just an opportunity to take a couple of moments here and just start to turn your attention inward, right? Start to just notice how you're feeling in your body this afternoon. Inhale through the nose, exhale through the nose. And one of the things that's so great about the yoga practice is that it's a great way to try and just stay a little present. And I like to do that by focusing on the breath. Inhaling through the nose for 3 and exhaling through the nose for 3 is a great place to just start to establish a baseline. So notice on your next breath, as you inhale through the nose, notice where it goes, filling up the lungs, maybe the side ribs, maybe the belly. On the exhale, notice the breath coming out of the nose. And notice your shoulders. So inhale for 3 through the nose. And see if you can keep that height on the exhale, but let the shoulders relax. Now let's see if we can grow the spine a little. So inhale, lift the ribs, lift the crown of the head. On the next exhale, pull the navel into the spine to engage the core a little bit here. Let's do that a couple more times. So inhale, lift the ribs, lift the crown of the head, and exhale here. So I invite you to bring the hands together at the heart and bow the head to the hands. So this is just an opportunity to take a moment at the beginning of class to set an intention for your practice if you'd like. And an intention can be a word or a phrase or maybe even a dedication of this class to someone that you have in your thoughts. And then sealing your intention, whatever it may be, inhale, arms up overhead, palms touch, and then exhale, bring the hands together back through the heart. Let's do that one more time. So inhale, arms up overhead, palms touch, exhale, hands together through the heart, and then down to the knees. All right, so before we get moving, go ahead and change the cross of the legs, and then let's just come into a small side body stretch, right? We're gonna try and stretch the side body. So walk the left hand out to the left, and then inhale, right arm high, exhale, side bend over to the left. So from here, press the left hand into the floor and then reach through the right fingers. Take an inhale for 3. On the exhale, can you relax left ear towards left shoulder? And then inhale, reach again. Exhale here. Inhale, come up, and let's do that on the other side. So walk the right hand out to the right. Inhale, left arm high. Exhale, side bend over to the right. So reach through the left fingers and press the floor away a little bit with that right hand. Inhale for 3. And exhale for 3. One more inhale, reach. And exhale. Inhale, come up to center. And let's make our way onto our hands and our knees. So if you want some padding for the knees, go ahead and grab that cushion, that towel or blanket, and then set that up around the 2/3 mark of the mat. And then coming into tabletop pose. So bring the hips over your knees and come onto the tops of the feet. So the toes are untucked. Bring the shoulders over the wrists. And then when you get there, inhale, lift the tailbone and curve the spine as you look forward for a cow pose. And then exhale, round the spine. So push the floor away with the hands and see if you can tuck the tailbone underneath you for cat pose. Let's do that a few more times. So inhale, hips high, look forward, cow pose. Exhale, dome into the upper back as you tuck the tailbone underneath you and let the neck and head relax for cat pose. So take this a few times, linking your movement to your breath. Inhaling for 3 as you lift the tail into cow pose. Exhaling for 3 as you dome into the upper back for cat pose. So the yoga practice is the movement-based part of yoga, is linking movement to breath. And so really, there's such a good opportunity in cat and cow to really focus on linking your exhale to cat pose, linking your inhale to cow pose, and seeing if you can extend the breath in and out to match coming in and out of this posture. So now let's come back to a neutral spine. Tabletop position, the spine is long, and then from here, widen the space between the knees a little and bring the feet together behind you, and then sink your hips towards your heels, bring the forehead to the mat, and just rest here in child's pose for just a breath or two. Child's pose is a wonderful restorative posture, and it's a great way to bring a stretch into the low back. Take a couple of breaths, inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the nose. And then from child's pose, inhale, come back to hands and knees, so tabletop position. And then shift your hips forward in front of the knees, coming into a modified plank pose. Take an inhale here, and then bend the elbows to lower all the way down to the belly. Coming into a cobra pose, bring the hands forward to be underneath the shoulders, and then inhale, gently press into the hands and look forward. Cobra pose, take an inhale. Exhale, lower back down to the chest, and then plant the hands on either side of the ribs and inhale up to hands and knees. Come back to tabletop, and then exhale, sink the hips back down to the heels for child's pose once again. So we're gonna get into this little flow. So let's do all of that again. Inhale up through tabletop to modified plank. Hips in front of the knees, and then exhale, lower all the way down to the belly. Slide the hands forward to be under the shoulders. And then inhale, press into the hands, lift the heart and head, look forward, cobra pose. Exhale, lower back down. And then inhale, come back to hands and knees, tabletop, and pause here in tabletop. From tabletop, tuck the toes. So bring the toes to the mat, and then lift the knees and lift the hips. Press up and back to downward facing dog. Downward facing dog is the bread and butter of Vinyasa class, and it may be a difficult inversion when you start doing down dog, but by the end of class, typically this is a resting posture. Not to say that it isn't still work. So let's just talk about alignment here in downward facing dog. Bend the knees, press into the hands. So push the tailbone to the back of the mat, and then lift the tailbone high to try and bring some straightness into the legs, but keep a slight bend in the knees. And then from here, see if you can relax your heels any amount towards the floor to deepen this stretch. Take an inhale for 3 through the nose, and an exhale for 3 through the nose. From here, start to look forward at the hands and inhale, walk the feet forward to the hands to come to a forward fold. So when you get to the front of the mat, bend the knees enough so your fingertips can comfortably touch the mat. And then let the neck relax and let the head hang heavy here. Forward fold is one of my all-time favorite stretches. We do so much sitting and standing. We rarely give our body the opportunity to stretch the low back. From here, bring the hands to the shins, and then inhale, halfway lift, and lengthen the spine forward, and lengthen the back of the head, the crown of the head, forward. Exhale, fold back down. Fingertips on the mat. And now tuck the chin to the chest, and inhale, slowly rise all the way up to stand, and then bring your head up last. And when you get there, inhale, arms up overhead, palms touch. And then bring the hands together through the heart line and then down to either side for mountain pose. So mountain pose, a fantastic opportunity to check in with the body. So just take a moment and notice. Notice the shoulders, notice your breath, notice the pulse, maybe the temperature of the room. And then let's keep on moving here. So bring the toes together to touch. And then inhale, arms up overhead, palms touch. Exhale, fold over a slight bend in the knees. Bring the hands to shins. Inhale, halfway lift, look forward. And then exhale, plant the hands on the mat and step the right foot to the back of the mat. And then lower the right knee down. Hopefully you've got some padding if you need it. And then come onto the top of the right foot. So that foot's untucked. And then press down into the feet. Lift the torso, lift the arms for low lunge. I adore low lunge. It's a great opportunity to get so much stretching in. So see if you can shift your hips a bit forward in front of the back knee. That's gonna really light up the front right hip. Pull the navel in and reach the arms up overhead. Take an inhale here and exhale here. So inhale here again. On the exhale, bring the right hand down to the floor and bring the left hand to the top of the left knee. Turn the chest open to the left any amount and then pause here. Maybe lift left arm up to the ceiling for a simple twist. Simple does not mean easy, it just means simple. Take an inhale. And then on the exhale, bring the left fingertips down to the mat. Bring the right fingers onto the mat and start to walk the fingertips back as you shift your hips back in space so that you can straighten that left leg. Bringing the toes off the mat, we're coming into a back of the leg stretch here. This is called half split. So staying on the fingertips, just looking forward, inhale. This could be plenty of a stretch. But if you want to go deeper, bend the elbows and start to lower the torso towards the thigh, bringing the forehead towards the knee any amount, and take a full round of breath. Inhale through the nose and exhale through the nose. So to come out of this posture, bend back into that left knee and slide the left foot back in space so that you can easily bring the left knee over the left ankle. And then come back onto the fingertips. And then from here, tuck the back toes. Can you lift the back knee off the mat? So this is a runner's lunge. So in runner's lunge, the back knee is lifted and that front knee is over that front ankle. So already you can feel this lighting up that right hip. And let's go a little deeper into these stretches. So plant the right hand underneath the right shoulder. Bring that left hand to the left thigh and turn the chest open once again to the left. From here, inhale, lift left arm up to the ceiling and send that back heel back as you take an inhale for 3. Exhale, bring the left fingertips back down to the mat. And now bring both hands down the right edge of the mat and turn those left toes to be the same direction as the right, facing that right edge of the mat. Come onto the fingertips under the shoulders for a straddle pose. Inhale, halfway lift, so straighten that spine. And then exhale, bend the elbows and fold the torso towards the floor. So options here to get this stretch a little deeper in straddle. Option 1, can you seal the palms to the mat? That may help you lower the chest any amount. And if you want to go deeper still, you can even walk the hands back in space to be closer to in line with the feet. Take an inhale here. On the exhale, can you bend the elbows any amount to help lower the torso any amount more, stretching the backs of the legs and the inner leg line. Take an inhale here and exhale here. From here, walk the hands to the front of the mat, turn that left toe towards the front of the mat, and then step the right foot forward. Come back to that forward fold. Bring the hands to the shins. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way up to stand. Palms touch up overhead. Exhale, hands together through the heart and then down to the sides for mountain pose. Let's do all of that again on the other side. So toes together at the front of the mat. Inhale, arms up overhead, palms touch. Exhale, fold over a slight bend in the knees. Inhale, hands to shins, halfway lift, extend the spine. And then exhale, fingertips to the mat, step the left foot to the back of the mat, and then lower the left knee, come onto the top of the left foot so the toes are untucked. And then press down into the connecting points to the mat, lift the torso, lift the arms for low lunge. See if you can bring the hips slightly forward to be in front of the back knee. That'll deepen the stretch in the left hip. Pull the navel in and come back to that breathing, inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the nose. Take a full breath in and a breath out. One more inhale here. And then on the exhale, plant the left hand, bring the right hand to the top of the right thigh and turn the chest open to the right. And then inhale, maybe lift right arm high. Stay here on the exhale. Inhale here again. Exhale, bring the right fingertips down. Come onto the left fingertips. Let's come into that half split again. So walk the fingertips back as you shift your hips back enough so that you can straighten the front leg and lift the front toes off the mat, coming into a half split. Inhale, just look forward. That may deepen the stretch enough. If you want to go even deeper, bend the elbows, lower the torso towards the thigh, forehead towards the knee, any amount. Find your edge here. No need to hyperextend. There's no right way that this should look. What you should feel is the stretch. And if you feel like you're getting the stretch, that's our aim. From here, to come out, step into the right foot and slide it back in space so that you can easily bring right knee back over right ankle. Tent onto the fingertips under the shoulders, and then tuck the back toes and lift the back knee off the mat, coming back into that runner's lunge. So in runner's lunge, that back leg is straight. You can even lift the back kneecap to really engage the quad. And then plant the left hand on the mat under the shoulder, bring the right hand back to the right thigh, and open the chest to the right. Maybe from here, inhale and lift right arm off the mat, or off the thigh, coming into a easy twist, simple twist. Take an inhale, send that back heel back towards the back edge of the mat. Stay here for the exhale. One more inhale for 3, and then exhale, bring the right hand down, walk both hands down the left edge of the mat and turn the right toes in to be the same direction as the left. So the feet are parallel. The pinky edges of the feet are parallel to the front and back edges of the mat. Bring the hands under the shoulders, tent under the fingertips, and then inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, bending the elbows, lowering the torso towards the mat, and seeing if you can maybe seal the palms to the mat. And if you want to go deeper into this stretch, you can walk the hands to be back in line with the feet. Take an inhale here. On the exhale, maybe bend the elbows to see if you can help bring the torso and crown of the head closer to the floor. And let the neck relax here. Let the head hang heavy. Maybe nod the head yes and no, and just see that it's nice and loose. Take one more round of breath here, in through the nose and out through the nose. Walk your hands back to the front edge of the mat, turn those right toes forward, and then step the left foot forward. Come back to forward fold. Bring the hands to shins. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. And then slowly rise all the way up to stand. Arms up overhead, palms touch. Exhale, hands together through the heart and down to the sides for mountain pose. All right, so from here, I'm going to remove my towel from the mat. We're going to do a couple of standing postures before we actually wind down. So come to stand at the front of the mat, toes together, heels apart, and then send the hips back in space and sink the hips low, lifting the arms. Come into chair pose. Take an inhale here and an exhale here. This is tough. Press the knees together. Inhale, lift just the torso. And then exhale, straighten the legs and fold. Inhale, halfway lift, look forward. And then exhale, fold, fingertips to the mat. Step the right foot to the back of the mat. And then bring the right heel down to the midline of the back so that the pinky edge of the right foot is parallel to the back edge of the mat. Bring the left knee over the left ankle, and then press down into the feet to lift the torso and open the arms wide. So chest is open to the right edge of the mat, and your left fingertips are towards the front edge of the mat. Gazing over left fingertips, this is warrior two pose. Take an inhale here. Option to stay for the exhale or bring left forearm to left thigh. So if you're staying, stay in warrior two and breathe. And if you're going deeper for this part of class, inhale, lift right arm high. And on the exhale, extend right arm over right ear for that full side body stretch. Take an inhale and an exhale. Inhale, come back to warrior two. And then from here, straighten the front leg, drop the back arm, and lift the front arm up and back for reverse triangle pose. So this is a great front body stretch, front hip space. And then inhale, come back up. Straight arms, straight legs. Bring the hands to the hips, and then step the back foot all the way forward. And let's do all of that again. So toes together, heels apart at the front of the mat. And then from here, keeping the hands on the hips to start, send the hips back and down, and then lift the arms for chair pose. Take an inhale and stay for the exhale. Inhale here again. Exhale, straighten the legs and fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fingertips to the mat. Step the left foot to the back of the mat, and then bring the left heel to the midline of the mat so that that pinky edge is parallel to the back edge of the mat. Keep that right knee over the right ankle. Press down into the feet, lift the arms, and gaze over right fingertips as your chest open to the left edge of the mat. Take an inhale here and an exhale, warrior two. So option to stay, but if you want to go deeper into this posture, take another inhale, and then on the exhale, bring forearm to thigh and lift left arm high. Take an inhale here, and on the exhale, extend left arm over left ear for that full side body stretch. Inhale for 3, and exhale for 3. Inhale, come back up, warrior two, and then straighten the front leg. Drop the back arm, lift right arm up and back for that front body stretch here. Take an inhale and an exhale. Inhale, come back up, straight arms and straight legs. Bring the hands to the hips and step that back foot forward to the front of the mat. Bring the toes together. Inhale, arms up, palms touch. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift, extend the spine, and then exhale, plant the hands on the mat and step back to a plank pose. Knees can be lifted or down, either one. Take an inhale. On the exhale, lower all the way to the belly. Come onto the tops of the feet, so untuck the toes. Inhale, press into the mat, cobra pose, look forward. Exhale, lower back down to the chest. And then from here, inhale up to hands and knees, tabletop position, and swing the hips around and come back to a seat. So bring the feet to the mat and scoop the hips towards the heels. Bring the arms out in front of you. And then take an inhale here. On the exhale, slowly lower yourself down onto the spine. And then let the arms rest, palms open to the ceiling, or maybe you can even have the hands rest on the chest and the belly. We're gonna do a couple of lying down postures before we finish class. So first, walk the feet in towards the hips, close enough so that you can tickle the heels with the fingertips, and then let the arms relax once again. And then from here, press down into the heels to lift the hips for bridge pose. So in bridge pose, keep the work out of your neck and your shoulders, your face, relax the throat, unclench the jaw, and see if you can press down into the heels any amount more and lift the hips, lift the spine. Take a full breath in and a breath out. One more inhale here. Exhale, slowly lower the spine and then the hips and then the tailbone. And then walk the feet out towards the edges of the mat and bring the knees together to touch. Time flies when you're having fun. And here we are coming towards the end of our practice together. Walk the feet back into center and then bring the knees in towards the chest, grabbing onto the shins. From here, drop both knees over to the right. And then see if you can open your chest to the left to bring that left shoulder back down to the mat. And maybe extend that left arm out to the left. If you don't have the room for that, maybe you can bring the arm open like a goalpost or a cactus with a bend at the elbow. I find it's helpful to keep that right hand holding onto the knees just to help me stay in this deep twist in the spine and in the waist. And if you want to go even deeper, maybe start to shift the gaze to the left. Take a couple of breaths here, inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the nose. From here, inhale, come back onto the spine, lift both knees, come back with the knees into the chest. And then let's just set up on the other side. So holding onto the shins, drop both knees over to the left, and then open the chest to the right, seeing if you can bring that right shoulder down to the mat and maybe extend the right arm out to the right, maybe have a bend at the elbow, coming into cactus shaped arms. And again, it might be nice to hold on to the thigh, that top thigh with the left hand. And if you want to go even deeper into this posture, you can look to the right. Take a full round of breath, inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the nose. To come out of this posture, bring the knees back up over the body, come back onto the spine, bring the knees into the chest, grabbing onto the shins, bring your head up to the knees, give yourself a squeeze, and then extend the legs forward and reach the arms back, stretch in both directions, point the toes, take an inhale. And then on the exhale, bring the hands down by the side and set up here for a few moments of rest, Shavasana pose. So this is just an opportunity to release muscular effort. Let the feet fall open. Let the neck and shoulders relax, or let go of the breath. Let the mind wander. If this level of stillness doesn't feel like it's appropriate for your body in this time, you're also welcome to find a comfortable seat at the front of the mat with either the eyes closed or with a soft gaze towards the floor. Now bringing your awareness back into the body, start to bring small movements into the fingers and the toes. Maybe rock your head side to side. And when you're ready, slowly make your way onto one side. Taking your time, gently press into the hands and make your way back up to a comfortable seat at the front of the mat, bringing across to the legs, bringing your hands to the knees when you get there, and coming back into the breath, inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the nose. Let's do 2 shoulder rolls quickly. Inhale, shoulders up to the ears, roll the shoulders back. And then exhale, roll the shoulder blades down the back together. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, shoulders up, roll the shoulders back, and then exhale, roll the shoulder blades together, down the back. Bringing the hands together at the heart, bowing the head to the hands, taking a moment to check in with the intention you may have set at the beginning of class. I hope that practice this afternoon helped you cultivate space, both in the body and in the mind. Namaste.